My name is Veer Kumar Patil and welcome to this video on setting up Jenkins using Podman. So in this session, we will explore how to containerize Jenkins and set it up using Podman and configure it for your development and CI/CD needs. Okay. So actually, before actually jumping into the topic, I'll briefly explain you about what is Jenkins. So Jenkins is one of the open source automation server enabling developers and testers to build, test, and deploy their applications effectively. Uh, so so that is a brief about Jenkins. And when it comes to Podman is a daemonless container engine offering a secure and lightweight alternatives to a Docker. So by combining both these things, how we can create a highly portable and secure CI/CD pipeline setup that we are going to see in this particular video. So before actually we begin, right, make sure that you have installed a Podman in your system. If not, if you need any help, you can check out my previous videos on installing Podman on different operating systems. And then you can go ahead. Okay, so what we are going to see in this particular video. Okay, so first and foremost, we'll try to pull the image using one of the Podman command. Okay, these will be a six steps exercise. So first one will be this. Second will be a creating a persistent volume that will act as a store for you, like to ensure that data is not lost even if the container is stopped or restarted. Okay, so we'll see that. Then we'll run the actual Jenkins container, and then we'll try to access the Jenkins. We'll configure the Jenkins, and in the last we'll see some commands to Podman commands that will help you to manage the Jenkins. Okay, so uh, that is what we are going to see in this particular video. Okay, so these are the 6 steps, I would say, that we are going to see in this particular video. So what I'll do now, I'll quickly flip to my terminal, and from there we can get started. Okay, so first and foremost thing that we wanted to do is to run the or to pull the Podman container. Okay, so that we can get started. So the command is podman pull jenkins/jenkins :ls. So we'll get the latest image of the Jenkins from the Docker Hub registry. So what it will do, it will pull the image from the Docker Hub and will be present for you on your machine. So if you could see, it has completed that. You can verify that with the command podman images that will list down all the images that are present on your machine. So here, if you could see, I have this particular version, the image of the Jenkins basically. Okay. Now the next step that we wanted to do is to create a volume. Okay, so as I said in the introduction, we need a volume to store the data, even though that will make us sure that the container is restarted or stopped, the data will not be lost. Okay, so we had created one volume using the command podman volume create and the name of the volume. Okay, now let's go ahead and run the actual command that will kind of run the container that we had done in the first step. We'll use the volume mount as well. Okay, and then we'll get started from there. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just run copy paste the command and then I'll explain you each bit of it. Okay, so the command looks like podman run -d. We wanted to run it in detached mode. Give the name to the container as Jenkins. Do the port forwarding 8080 of a host to the 8080 port of a container or inside the container. Similarly, do the port forwarding on 50,000 from a host to the container port 50,000. Then do the volume mount where the Jenkins data, the volume that we had created, will be storing the data from /var/jenkins home, which is the directory inside the container. And lastly, we'll give the name of the image that we wanted to run. Now let's execute this particular command. So the container is now running. We can verify that with the command podman ps. And if you could see, this is the container that has been started. Now from here, what I'll do is I'll open up the browser and see. Let's get started. Like, let's try to access the Jenkins now. So generally the Jenkins, so if you could see, we had done the port forwarding over here where we had used port 8080. So let's try to open the local host colon 8080. So basically this is the port where your Jenkins UI will start. Okay, so if you could see, this is like it's asking you for a setting up a Jenkins. Okay, but what it is asking you is like, can you give me the administrator password? But how you can get that particular administrator password? So what we can do is simply execute a command, that will give you the podman logs. Okay, so podman logs, and they give the name of the container that we had given. Like, so in this particular command, the name that we had given is Jenkins. Okay, and we'll do the search and give me the top 5 results with the keyword password. Okay, and let's try to execute this. So if you could see, it has shown you the all the logs that has been there. And if you could see, Jenkins initial setup is required and admin user has been created and password is generated. Use the following password to proceed with the installation. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this particular password and I'll go to the browser and I can add that. And once that is done, I'm ready to go ahead with the setup wizard. Okay, so here you can select the plugins to install, or you can install the suggested plugin as per your requirement. So I'll go with the default stuff, and it will kind of install all the plugins that are necessary. Okay, so based on your internet speed, it might take some time for you to get this step done. Okay, but make sure that you do this particular step as a part of your first step installation. Okay, so it might take a bit. Let's wait for the execution to get complete. So if you could see, it has completed the execution and now it is asking you to create a first admin user. So let me just create one admin user. I'll enter the password. Let me just give a name. Let's say Veer Kumar Patel and the email address. Okay, so let me just do @gmail.com. Okay, I think I had typed it in capital. I'll just make sure that the password is correct and save and continue. Even you can skip for now and you can do that, but just for this, and click on save and finish and start using Jenkins, and you are there. Like, your Jenkins is set up with the Podman within few steps. Okay, now let's see whether the it stores the data, because we had configured everything. We had created one user, right? Let's do one thing. I'll just log out. I'll just kind of go ahead and stop the container. Podman stop Jenkins, and I'll restart the container. Okay, Podman start Jenkins. Okay, and now again, if I go to the browser and see, we have it's running now. Let's do log into the system using the, and if you could see, I was able to log in to the system successfully. So even though we stopped and restarted the container, it had saved its status. Okay, so that's the stuff that I wanted to show in this particular video. I'll just quickly flip over back to the slides, and additionally, I'll just so in this video we successfully set up a Jenkins using Podman. We pulled the image, we created a volume for persistent storage, ran the container, and configured Jenkins for use. Uh, I hope you found this video helpful, and thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more tutorials. Thank you. Thanks for watching.